Hello! Today we are going to solve examples with complex fractional numbers. Let's remember that complex fractional numbers are those numbers in which we see fractional numbers in the numerator and denominator. Let's solve the example. If we see the following entry, 7 minus 1, divided by 1 minus 5/7, then in that case we're saying that the second summand is a complex fractional number. Why? We see that in the numerator we have 1, but in the denominator we get a fractional number, and we need to find the value of the expression or calculate it. We calculate by operations. I'll write down 7 and leave that number. I'll work on the denominator of the second summand. 1 divided, 1 minus 5/7. We know how to subtract. And to subtract 5/7 from 1, the result is 2/7. But why we see that the result is again a complex fractional number. And this complex fractional number needs to be written in a different form. It's very easy to do. Let's write 7 minus. Let's look at the second summand. The thing is, we said that we need to pay attention to the fraction line, the longest pronounced fractional line. And here we see that the unit is the numerator. And 2/7 is the denominator. So we need to divide the 1 by 2/7. And when we write it down like this, we know what we're going to do. We know what we're going to do next. 7 minus 1 divided by 2/7, that's 1 times 7/2. And then we can find the value of that expression. 7 minus 1 times 7/2, that's 7/2. In this case, we need to subtract 7/2 from 7. You can do that if you bring it to a common denominator. Let me show you different ways to solve this example. 7 minus 7/2. What can I do? I can write down the common denominator is 2. And then write down an additional multiplier of 2. 7 times 2 is 14 minus, and the second summand has an additional factor of 1. Then it's 14 minus 7. The result is 7 2s, and 7 2s 3.12 or 3.50. You can write down and solve this example using a different method. Let me write down 7 minus 7/2. What can I do? I can write down 7/2 as a mixed number. 3 whole 1/2. And then I know that 7 minus 3 whole 1/2. Let's write 7 as 6.22. Minus 3 whole 1/2. And then 6 minus 3 is 3. And 2 minus 1 is 1. 1, 2. As you can see, we get the same answer. 3.50. We can perform this action using decimal notation. Let's write down the solution again. 7 minus 7/2. In the previous lessons, we talked about how to write an ordinary fraction as a decimal fraction. What do we need to do this? If the fraction line is a division sign, then 7 must be divided by 2. Let's divide 7 by 2. 7 divided by 2. Let's take 3 each. 3 times 2 is 6. 7 minus 6 is 1. There are no more numbers, so I put a decimal point, add a 0. 10 divided by 2 is 5. The result is the decimal notation of this number, 3.50. And then 7 minus 3 whole 50s is 3 whole 50s. As you can see, we solved the example and used different algorithms. When you see complex fractional numbers, or indeed solve any example with fractional numbers, you can use any algorithm to do the calculation, and you will get the right answer. And the most important thing, you have to remember the rules and know how to use them. Today we solved one example with complex fractional numbers. Next lesson we'll solve more examples. And that's all for today. Goodbye. See you again.